Hey beautiful people, welcome to my channel. If you are new, everybody's gonna be new actually because I remade a whole new channel. I've had another channel in the past, Spiritually Abstract. If you're interested, you can go ahead and subscribe there, but it really is just a personal channel. It used to be something that I took seriously, but I decided to just reframe, create something new. But anyway, why you are here is because the title most likely drew you in. I have been coining myself for the last few months as a retired eldest daughter or elder daughter, and I'll distinguish between the two in a second. But I felt really called, given with all the changes with TikTok, which was like my primary platforms. Well, Lemonade was my primary platforms, and now TikTok, going through the motions, along with Lemonade also being deleted and merged together with the platform that we're all no longer going to have. Don't get me started. Anyway, I've been forced to pivot yet again with where I can find home in my content creation space, and I have come back to YouTube. So just to like give myself a fresh start, I created this page. Thank you so much for seeing this video, interacting with it. I appreciate you so much. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and yeah, welcome to the new journey of self-development, prosperity, spirituality, lifestyle. We're doing a little bit of everything like we always do on any other channel of mine. We're just trying to find our way in new reborn phases of our life, right? All right. So today is all about my current Substack reading. Let me put the brightness down because that's a little bright. Okay. And if you see this is just a pendulum. I'm using it to help fidget and like keep my thoughts in order, along with my iPad, my very old iPad. Yeah, if you have ADHD, you know you need something to help concentrate. I've been thinking about this for days now, and I finally created a Substack. And I'm just gonna repost all my old Lemonade content on it, as well as like new posts as well, so that way you guys can all like still interact without having that pesky social media doom scroll energy that most popular platforms have, right? So hopefully this isn't too distracting for you. And yeah, let's get into why, and I'll link everything below, by the way. Let's get into the Retired Elder Daughter, the newest Substack that I created, titled The 3 Ways All Elder Daughters Can Reclaim Their Identity. So first one is learning when to say no. It sounds simple, but it's really not. And I feel you. I feel you 100%. When you're constantly saying yes, you're pretty much trying to survive. When it comes to you being the oldest and you've been taught, trained, gaslit into being made into the second parent, the third parent, in some households, if you are suddenly the big sister / little mom, whatever title they suddenly give you, if you are the backbone of the family, the pillar, the foundation, whatever, these things, saying something like no to your parents, siblings is typically easier because they're your siblings, but your parents or like grandparents, it can be a lot harder. And a lot of the times when you feel the need to say no, it's typically a body reaction that comes with it. Saying no typically comes with some anxiety up along the chest. You feel like either somebody's stepping on your chest or your chest is poofed out. You can also feel like your mind is scattered and you have to think about 3,000 different ways. I know that's kind of the way that I've coped as a kid, was like trying to figure out a different way to verbalize saying no without actually saying the word. So in a way, kind of like weaponizing my incompetence just a bit to get out of whatever I'm being asked to do, especially if I'm exhausted and tired at the time. I know that's a typical sign that the body kind of gives that anxiety notion to say, hey, this isn't right for you. But your parents typically don't care if you were parentified, and they can just insist on forcing you to do it anyway. So we tend to learn not to trust our bodies, trust our guts, and for the sake of survival, for the sake of pleasantries and comfort, we say yes anyway, and that's how we kind of start to deny our intuition and our true selves. And that's how the burialification, I don't know if that's a word. If it's not a word, it's a word today. Thank you. The burying process of your true self begins. So saying yes, saying no, can be really challenging if you're not used to it, especially since you're older. The older you get, the better you get at doing it, because let's say adolescence, going into high school, if you choose to go into college after the fact, you get more opportunities to say no to your community surrounding you versus like being at home. So the next thing that I say with saying no is to do it and practice it no matter what. You don't have to use it all the time because you don't want to completely turn up your means of survival. And I keep saying means of survival because that's literally what it is. If you are living in a parentified household, if you are living in a toxic household, an abusive household, you need to unfortunately maintain your surroundings, your safety, until you have some type of method, way of getting out. And sometimes it's not necessarily planned, sometimes it's sudden. I know for me it was sudden, but I'm just giving you advice on what this all could be for you. So you have to do it steadily. So for example, let's say you're also most likely gonna have to learn how to white lie and fib. Just to be honest with you, you gotta do what you gotta do. Let's say, for example, you have to go pick up, your parent tells you to go pick up your sibling at their basketball practice, for example, and your parent is home. They're not at work or anything like that. It's not like nobody can go pick them up. Your parent simply just wants you to go pick them up because that's the job that they've assigned you to do. You could also say, hey, I can't do that because I got to go to work. Like I picked up a shift or something like that. Or make it related to classes, like, oh, I got class at this time, I gotta go do whatever. Like slowly but surely maneuver your way out of it. That's one way, right? And number two can be also as you utilize the word no in its own variations, and you get older and you have the opportunity to possibly go to college. This is where distance and proximity and verbal boundaries go hand in hand, because if you are not around to do the deed, you're less likely to be manipulated to do it. A fact is a fact. If you are not around to do said deed, nobody's going to ask you to do it. Which is why a lot of time parentified daughters tend to come home and there's like such a heavy energy, I want to say, or is a heavy attention on them to do all the tasks that they missed out on while they're home on break. I remember my first break from college, I came home and it was like I couldn't even rest during break because I had to like help me with this, can you come with me here, can you do this for me, I need help with this. It was like they were catching up on all the time that they missed out on. And despite verbalizing it and showing that I needed rest because I'm exhausted, it's my first year of college and all the other things, it didn't matter at the time. But I had to continuously, even though it was uncomfortable, put my foot down. And that's exactly what you're going to have to do. You have to create your own personality. You have to show your family, your parents, that you are becoming your own person somehow, some way. And if they give you, or they support you in having the opportunity to go get a higher education, that is literally part of the deal. They have no choice but to get with the program at some point. Again, take this with a grain of salt and apply it to your own situation. I want you to be safe. I want you to be well protected and provided for as much as possible until you yourself can get yourself out, right? So this is where If you're not going away to college, for example, and you're still home for whatever, or you're not going away to go work or being a Marine or whatever it is, I would say if you say no, I would still apply distance. So you can still say no and then go to your room, or you can still say no and then like go over to a friend's. If you feel like that distance causes that, it may seem like, oh, it'll cause more friction, but and it's kind of hard because the way I think about it, I try to think about it from all sides, and I feel like, especially if you have a narcissistic parent like I did, they're just gonna find new ways to try to like manipulate you. But that's just something you're gonna have to cross that bridge when you get there. The point is to be in the moment, assert your boundary, find out what you like, what you don't like, and keep it pushing. Okay, let's see what else. And we are slowly but surely losing time. Obviously, there's certain ways that I say here in the Substack. I say maybe you could say I can't help this time, or I need to think about it first, and then you can apply distance. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And feel free to read the Substack for more details. I hope this is good quality. I'm doing this on a cinematic camera thingy, but we're losing daylight, so it's probably not going to be that great, but it's okay. It's our first video. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, number 2 is reconnect with who you were prior to being parentified as best as you can. If your siblings kind of like were born right after you were born, then that's going to be a little different for you. But if you've had a few years in between having your siblings, there's still going to be things that you liked. Even when your siblings were born, there's still things that you still engaged in, hobbies that you liked, whether that was painting, whether that was singing, whether that was playing an instrument, if you had the opportunity to, if you danced while you were in primary school, elementary school, things like that are highly recommended to still be done as you get older, because adults, we really don't get a scheduled playtime. That's kind of the privilege and the benefit of being an adult. We kind of set up our own schedules, but if we allow society to set up our schedules, it will be work, home, work, home, work, home. And that's not good for anybody. That's not even good for the businesses if they really took it seriously, but I digress, right? So there's that. You also want to allow your inner child to navigate different hobbies as you stick to your core hobby. So if you like to crochet, okay, maybe try playing an instrument every once in a while, or going to a hip-hop class every once in a while, so you can have some variety. Because typically, I know with parentified parents, your parents don't really want you to deviate from the structure. And I want to encourage you to deviate from the structure a little bit. Give yourself some variety, because variety provides different variables, right? Different variables encourage stimuli. I don't know where I'm going with the science of this all, but basically there's more pathways to learn more about yourself in different ways if you're put in the right environments to do so. So, like I said, one day you're crocheting on the couch, go crochet at the park. Go crochet on the bus to the mall, whatever it is. And then maybe Friday night, instead of, hanging out with your friends at the bar, you go to a dance class and you move your body and you make friends that way. And that's a hobby that also strengthens you in gaining and creating better community. And I could create a whole nother video on how to grow your community authentically, holistically, and aligned. Community members, family members, friend members, tribe members. And yeah, also let me know if you want to hear about that. But circling back, in the interest of time, that's the best thing you could do for yourself. Okay, let's move on to the final one. All right, number 3 is stop living the narrative somebody else wrote for you, including society, including your parents. You have to unlearn everything you have learned and relearn it to see if it is truly for you. And that is going to take most of your life to do. Every time we have a certain era of our life, we're going to get to a certain point. We're going to cross that bridge, and suddenly there's another Mount Everest or mountain, whatever you want to call it. There's another bridge, road, whatever to go. And we're never the same person that we were last year, a day ago, an hour ago. We are constantly evolving. So as humans, it is not in our best interest. It's not even something that is biologically, it's not even something that we were created to do. However, because of our society, because of our cultures, things like that, and our upbringing, parents want us to stay stagnant so we can stay predictable, so we can stay in control. If you were blessed enough to have a parent that allowed you to be a human being, they understood that you were going to change and morph consistently and continuously. So you have to redefine who you are and allow yourself to redefine that person when the time is right, okay? I also want you to take into consideration that it is also okay to be the villain in somebody's story. Family or not. You've had the same friend for 12 years and y'all fall off, and this, you know, you didn't do nothing to this person, and this person, oh, she did that, she switched up on me, da da da. Cool. You right. Let them be right. Because no matter what, it doesn't matter. You're living your life and they're going to live their life. Right? You have to be okay with being the villain. Yeah, you went above and beyond for your parents. Yeah, you went above and beyond for your siblings. You did homework help. You took them to their practices. You helped your parents go to the doctors. You sent money back home. You did this and that. And just because you told them no, you're evil, you're the villain, yes. Learn to radically accept it. And then let it go. I'm not saying this is going to be a quick 1-2 in a hurry and it's done. Nobody's saying that. I'm just saying you have to actively practice it. Because one thing about the universe, spirit loves progress. Not necessarily perfection, because if we were perfect, we would be robots. And even robots aren't really perfect, so I don't know what else we would be. But all I can say is spirit loves progress. And the more you progress, the more you'll live life. But staying exactly where you are at all times and being apathetic to the world surrounding you, the world is going to continue to treat you just like your parents treated you. The universe is going to treat you just the way that your parents treated you, and your siblings treat you, and whoever else, if you had any. Okay? Now, I am completely out of light. It is very dark. I'm sorry for the lighting. I should have recorded this a little bit earlier, but I was hungry, okay? I was a hungry girl. Okay. I also want to leave you with this before I go, that I want you to know that you are enough at any stage, at any point in your life. Your childhood does not define you. Your adulthood does not define you. Who you are right here in this moment is what defines you. And that version of you is allowed to change, morph, adjust, and shed as much as they would like to. That is your birthright. That is your authority to do. Okay? All right. Don't forget to like the video if you got any type of value from this video. Check my description box. There's going to be links for different ways you could connect to different platforms of mine. You can also buy me a chai vanilla lavender latte because I love me some of that. And via my cash links below. And with that being said, have a beautiful, lovely day wherever, whenever you are when you're watching this. Love you. Until next time, peace.